Mode 3, the Phrygian scale. This is the third scale we're looking at in the mode series. The first scale we looked at was the Ionian, or the major scale. Then we looked at the Dorian scale, and now we're looking at the Phrygian scale. The scale we'll be looking at is the E Phrygian scale, and this is because we're remaining in the key signature of C. The reason we call this an E Phrygian scale is because it starts and finishes on the E note. And because of this, we can base the scale on either the 12th fret or the open string. As with previous scales we've learnt and previous modes, the reason we can give these two scales the same name is that 1. They start and finish on notes with the same name, and 2. They share the same pattern. In this case, it's 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. And this interval pattern comes from it being the next step along from the root pattern of the Ionian scale. Right, let's learn to play the E Phrygian scale. We'll start with the scale in the 12th fret. The reason we start here is because this is a barred scale. That means the scale doesn't have any open strings. And not having any open strings, it can be easily moved up and down the neck of the guitar, transposing it to different keys, making it very useful. And this can't be done with the open position one. If you don't know either of these scales, it's worth getting to know the one in the 12th fret first because it's far more useful. But if you already know that one, it's worth getting to know the open position one just to complement it. Right, let's get started. Play the 12th fret of the bottom E string with the first finger. Play the 13th fret of the bottom E string with the second finger. Play the 15th fret of the bottom E string with the fourth finger. Play the 12th fret of the A string with the first finger. Play the 14th fret of the A string with the third finger. Play the 15th fret of the A string with the fourth finger. Play the 12th fret of the D string with the first finger. Play the 14th fret of the D string with the third finger. Play the 15th fret of the D string with the fourth finger. Play the 12th fret of the G string with the first finger. Play the 14th fret of the G string with the third finger. Play the 12th fret of the B string with the first finger. Play the 13th fret of the B string with the second finger. Play the 15th fret of the B string with the fourth finger. Finally, play the 12th fret of the top E string with the first finger. Now, let's hear and see that played again with the metronome up and down the scale. Now we'll learn to play the E Phrygian scale in the open position. Play an open bottom E string. Play the first fret of the bottom E string with the first finger. Play the third fret of the bottom E string with the third finger. Play the open A string. Play the second fret of the A string with the second finger. Play the third fret of the A string with the third finger. Play the open D string. Play the second fret of the D string with the second finger. Play the third fret of the D string with the third finger. Play an open G string. Play the second fret of the G string with the second finger. Play an open B string. Play the first fret of the B string with the first finger. Play the third fret of the B string with the third finger. Finally, play the open top E string. Now let's hear and see that scale played up and down with a metronome. Ideally, memorise both of these scales and practice them up and down until you can play them fluently. But if not, at least practice the one in the 12th fret and then move on to the next scale. Below, down in the description, you'll find the link to eBooks for guitar, where you'll find this lesson and all the previous lessons in ebook format.